Fam, this Mind the Mic podcast is proudly brought to you by Manscaped. Before we get into this episode, I want to give you the opportunity to check out manscaped.com and use our promo code Mind the Mic. That's one word, Mind the Mic, for 20% off plus free shipping across the entire website. That's it. Manscaped.com, code Mind the Mic for 20% off plus free shipping across everything on the website, where you can get cool things just like this. The Lawnmower 5.0. Look, it's even got a light, and you can trim up all them unnecessary hairs, get rid of them. It's actually made for the downstairs, but you can use it for both if you want. They also have beard trimmers, especially for the beard. But this one here is actually made for the downstairs. So get amongst it, get rid of all them loose hairs hanging around down there. And once you've done that, make sure you clean up that nose too. So we got the Weed Whacker 2.0 for the nose. The Weed Whacker 2.0 is for the nose and the ears. We all get annoyed by those hairs, don't we? And we got the crop soother. So once you finish that undercarriage, come get some of this crop soother in your life. What's crop soother? It's an aftershave for the down there. But I've done it. I've tried it. And it doesn't sting like your dad's aftershave. So you're good to go. And if you want to keep it smelling nice, we got the crop preserver. Deodorant for the balls. That's anti-chafing. Not to mention these are waterproof, fam. So if you're like, yeah, but I like those manual ones because I can use them in the shower. Well, never fear. Manscaped is here. Go hard in the shower. It's waterproof, fam. Good present for your dad, for your brother, your boyfriend, your husband. Well, brothers, treat yourself. Go get you some Manscaped in your life. Use promo code Mind the Mic for 20% off plus free shipping across everything on the website. Enjoy the episode. Make sure you subscribe and get some Manscaped in your life. Mind the Mic. Hey, welcome back to another Mind the Mic podcast. I'm your host, Shubz, here with a special guest from the other side of the world, way over the pond, they say, all the way from England, the bro Tyler Dupree. He's a rugby league player and a human that we're going to learn a bit about. Grand final winner too. Must say that. Can't forget the premiership. Shout out to you. How are you, brother Tyler?
Yeah, I'm all good. Thanks for having me on. How are you?
All goods, brother. You know, another day, another few podcasts. Enjoying the journey, cuz. Enjoying the journey.
It looks like he's taking off, so I'm happy for you, man.
Hey, big love, brother. For anybody that doesn't know who you are, can you give us a little background on yourself, a little synopsis, if you will?
Yeah, so to put it politely, I'm a Yorkshireman living in Wigan. So I always get in that I'm a proud Yorkshireman, even though I'm living over here now. But yeah, rugby league player, currently playing for Wigan Warriors, and I've played for England as well. So yeah, just living the dream at the minute, man.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, and where was the proud Yorkshireman born? Where in Yorkshire was the proud Tyler, the Yorkshireman, born and raised?
Yeah, so I'm from Halifax. Many people just associate it with the bank, but it's not too far from. It's easier to say it's close to Leeds.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, and what was life like growing up in Halifax? What was the family dynamic like, brother?
Yeah, we had quite a content family. It was just me, my mum, and my sister. Yeah, it was just a typical estate kid, you know,
Right.
Little scruff running around, climbing houses, you know, staying out until the street lights came on, and then your mum were calling you in, and you know, just getting into a bit of low level trouble. You know, being mischievous, but never really went any further than that. But didn't come from much, but everything that we did get, we got in abundance. You know, we had good support. My mum did everything she could for us. So yeah, forever grateful.
Ah, beautiful. Shout out to mum, brother. Shout out to mum, cuz. And then obviously growing up there is in that community is rugby league a big thing?
No, it wasn't. First, I played football because that's what all my friends did, and I got to
Football.
about 7.
Yeah.
You'd call it soccer, I suppose, but got to about 7, and I was quite a lot bigger than the other kids my age, so I wasn't very talented at football, to say the least. So the coach pulled my mum to the side one day and just said, "Look, we think that it'd be better playing rugby league." And obviously we'd never heard of it, we'd never watched it or anything like that, so it was all new. And from the first session, I just fell in love with the sport.
Yeah, solid. Well, and having the frame for it would make sense. Or did you have a football team growing up, like a Premier League team, or did you support the local team?
No. So I was a Man United fan, but that's
okay.
just because of how the family followed it. But I catch a game every now and again, and I made it a bit of a mission last year to go watch some live games. I went to watch Wigan Athletic. I watched Manchester City, so I'm hoping to go watch Man United at some point as well.
Yeah. Oh, and I guess when you were born and coming up, like your family, they would have watched when Manchester was very, very successful, under Alex Ferguson and all that.
Yeah, definitely. For me, I wasn't really bothered. I only watched the big games anyway. So, but yeah, it was around the good years. So
Yeah, solid, brother. What's the background like? The heritage? What are your parents? Are they just English? That's it, or
no. So my mum's half Afro American. So her dad came from America. Came and met my nana over here, and I wouldn't say settled down, but obviously had a couple kids and did what he did.
Oh, true. Let's see. Whereabouts was your grandfather from over in America?
New Orleans.
Oh, Nola.
It was quite a well-known blues player as well. So called Champion Jack. There's a couple of like Google articles on him, and he's still on Spotify and that now. So
yeah, the Champion Jack. Oh, shout out to Graham. Did you have much to do with him growing up?
No, it were quite old. I think he had my mum when he were about 70. So
oh, my man.
Yeah, he'd done a bit. He'd definitely done a bit. I think he had a few kids in different countries, but yeah, no. So I didn't get to see him.
Oh, solid, brother. This 70 years old. And so what would he be now, brother, if he was still around? Do you know? Or hundreds?
115 plus, I reckon.
Wow, damn. So, have you been like do you have a connection to any of your American family at all, or
no, unfortunately not. We know they're out there and we know that there's some sort of some family there, but no, we've never really had the opportunity to sort of open up. Like I said, he had a couple of kids in different countries and sort of just went from country to country, so I don't think everyone sort of relishes the fact that they're related, I suppose.
And there wasn't no social media either back then, so it's a lot easier to stay in touch now than it would have been back then.
Yeah, definitely. I think his kids over in America will have been a lot older. So
yeah, definitely. Well, if it'd be 115, then if they're still around, they'd be close to pushing 90
as well. Nobody knows how many he actually had.
Yeah, he sounds like a loving man, brother. With your mum though, did she get much like of his time, like, or did he move on to another place, or did he spend a bit of time with your mother?
My man, he got quite a bit of his time. My mum was, because he moved to Germany after he was over here, so my mum was traveling to Germany a lot. She used to travel to America a bit, but then he passed away in Germany, so my mum got to sort of be there throughout all that.
Okay. What about, you said single parent home, right? You grew up in. Did you know your father, or?
It's a bit of a funny story. I didn't. The last time I seen my dad, I was 2-year-old. He used to beat my mum up quite severely. So a bit of a scumbag. But no, like I said, I'm always grateful for my mum and how she made sure we had everything. Like she was. He sort of put her in thousands of pounds worth of debt and, remortgaging houses and stuff like that. So for my mum to come out on the other side, it's quite good. Yeah,
definitely, brother. So as a young fellow growing up, playing this new sport, rugby league, 7 years old, 8 years old, was there much, because it's probably not that common on TV either, eh? Like, did you have any people to look at, like, I want to be like that person, or?
No, so my mum used to work in a children's home. I don't know if you know what that is over your way.
Yeah, children's home.
Yeah, without naughty kids, all that. And
I used to be one of those naughty kids.
Yes, fair enough. But she used to work with a man called Arnie Hamer.
Okay.
He was quite a good rugby player. He came over to England, played for Sheffield, stuff like that. And he worked in the children's home, and he was the only sort of like rugby player I knew. Him and
where was he from originally?
He's from New Zealand, I think.
Oh, the Māori fella.
Yeah.
Oh, to the Kazi.
Martin Warner. So they were the only sort of rugby players I actually knew. and like back then they were probably a big deal, but to me they were just people my mum knew. So
Yeah, like the uncles or something. Yeah.
yeah. So they were the only people I sort of knew in terms of rugby, and they sort of like encouraged the journey, I suppose.
Yeah. And did you when you start playing, did you start like making rep teams? I don't know how it works over there, like pretty quick or
No, so over here it doesn't really. It's one of them where we have scholarships over here. So do you know, like
okay.
you have like your teams over there that are in like the Premiership. So they over here we'd have teams that take you on around 14. So you do like a scholarship from 14, 15, and then at 16 you go to the academy then, which would be like under 21s.
Okay.
So we had that, and then from academy I sort of signed the first team deal.
Okay, so and then was that just straight to Wigan or where did you go? Where was the first team
So,
to sign you?
I did a scholarship at Salford Red Devils, and that was
Oh
because
yes.
of my friend Arnie, who used to be a scout for them. So he just said no other club wanted me at the time. All my friends were sort of getting these scholarship deals and stuff like that, and I was sort of left out. So he took a chance on me, and then I managed to go to Salford, which I enjoyed. Like it was one of the best times of my life at that point.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately their academy went bust. I don't know whether it was too with money or anything like that, but they sort of pulled their academy, so I was sort of left with nothing. No other clubs wanted me. So I went and played back at my amateur club at Siddle and played college rugby as well. And then from college rugby, I got a trial at Leeds Rhinos.
When you say college rugby, are you playing college rugby league or?
Yeah, college rugby league. I
Yeah.
only played like rugby union when I was probably about 14 to 16. Do you know, like when rugby league had finished, I'd go play rugby union then.
Oh yes.
I was always busy.
What was that academy life like though? When you, oh sorry, when or whatever that little what you were in at Salford? What was that? You said it was the best, one of the best experiences of your life
Yeah.
so far.
It was the first time I'd been close to sort of a professional environment.
Yeah.
And sort of seeing that people were getting paid to do this and doing this full time, and they didn't have to do like a boring 9 to 5 job alongside it or anything like that. Like it was something.
So that was the first time you got inspired, like, oh, I could actually do this as a career.
Yeah, definitely. And you sort of at that point, I'd sort of started watching rugby games a lot more, and then at the time it was when like Rangi Chase were there.
Yeah, that Rangi Chase. He's a gun, eh, brother? He was a gun.
So obviously seeing what he was doing as well, and then getting to like just walk in the same sort of building as him, it was pretty crazy. And I always thought like I want to be amongst them. I want to be the guy that the kids are looking up to and thinking, wow, I'm in the same building as this guy. So yeah, it was quite surreal. It gave me a massive hunger. It sort of fueled the fire, so to speak.
Yeah, that's on, brother. I love that because, and then you end up going back to Siddle. Did you say that your home club?
Yeah, I went back to my amateur club and played open age there. So I was 16-year-old playing against like 30-year-old, 40-year-old men.
Yeah.
I was sort of in the second team, which was like known as the pub team. So there were sort of people who was like at half time they'd be smoking cigarettes on sidelines. And, you know what I mean? And they were like a fight every other week. So it made me grow up really quick.
Yeah.
And I had to learn to look after myself because you sort of realize that no matter how old or young you are, that everyone's coming after you. So
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed going to games because you never knew what you got as well. And it was really enjoyable. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're a prop too, eh, brother? Or you a prop all the way through, like a front row all the way through, or what's the go?
Yeah. I've always been a big kid, so I was a prop. They tried me at second row as well, but props more my position. I think if there's a calling for anyone, I think props the one for me.
Props the one for Tyler Dupree.
Yeah.
That's it. How long are you at that club? Are you playing all the way 18 now? Like when do you get picked up by another club or?
Also, when I went to Leeds.
Yeah. How is that from Siddle or?
I got picked up for Leeds about 17. So I'd done like a couple months of nothing really, nearly a year, and then they sort of said that we'll take him on like a bit of a 3-month trial.
Yeah.
And I think after the first month, they just signed me. They signed me on like an academy contract. So It was on nothing. Like the money was like most people wouldn't even get out of bed for it, but I just thought for being in that environment, like as long as it paid for my fuel, I was all right. But there were obviously times where they want enough to cover my fuel, so I used to work in a nightclub as well.
Okay. But were we bouncing? Or...
Nah, glass collecting.
Oh, okay.
I was only 17, so I couldn't do anything behind the bar or like that. So I'd glass collect and then finish at like 5 a.m. and then have to set off to Leeds at 6 a.m. So as soon as I'd finish, I'd go home, get a shower, put my kit on, and I was setting off straight to Leeds. So
let's go, brother. Character building, brother.
Yeah, definitely. I got to a point where I realized I didn't need to sleep.
Yeah, I seen, Ben Hennon. Do you know that guy, Ben Hennon?
No, I don't think I do.
He's used to play for Queensland. I don't know if he played for Australia. He might have played former Bronco, and I think played Cowboys and Bulldogs in the NRL and the Telstra Premiership. But I remember he is saying that he moved to the Broncos he moved back to the Broncos, and he got offered I think it was just a training trial deal. But he had just bought a house in the Gold Coast and all of this, and he wasn't actually in the plans for the Broncos. But he thought, you know what, stuff it, I'm going to give it my all. And he worked the job. He'd work at like the markets, and then he'd drive all the way from Gold Coast, which is like an hour from Brisbane. He'd drive all the way up and then do the work, then go. And he realized then that he didn't need sleep. Was like you could do things like that. You could push past what your body or your what your body thinks it needs, or the mind tells you. You can push past that and make it. And he did it for like a whole year, brother. Worked and then he ended up getting a full contract with them and getting looked after. And they won the premiership that year too, 2006. Yeah, but I heard him talking on a podcast similar to what you were saying, brother.
Yeah, it just shows that it's sort of how your sort of mindset is towards things. And I knew that playing rugby was what I wanted to do. I wanted to make a career out of it, and I've always had in the front of my mind that I wanted to pay my mum back for everything she sort of did. So no matter what, I just did everything to earn a wage, whether it be a little or a lot. Like everything I sort of did, I was to help my mum out.
Yeah, shout out, bro. Again, big shout out to mum. Even Jesse, Jesse Senior Lefau. Even he was the same, brother, and he had kid though. He had a daughter. His daughter was, obviously born in, and she wanted to play in the NRL, and he was contracted to a reserve grade team, and he would have to work. He worked 2 or 3 jobs, brother, and he pretty much didn't sleep either, just like yourself, brother. And it's inspiring, cuz it's inspiring. I'm sure a lot of up and comers will take a lot from the story, even people that are maybe just lazy. No, I love that, brother. So have you got a good story from their glass collecting days, or that you can think of? Funny or something?
Yeah, in the nightclub, it was quite a busy place, so people were always fighting. There were always quite a bit of trouble, and I'll never remember the place was owned by a woman. The manager was a woman, sorry, and she was the best ever. Like she was like having a work mum, so to speak.
Yeah,
and I remember one of those glass collectors got started on. Like somebody were trying to fight one of his glass collectors. Bearing in mind we're only kids.
Yeah.
She came over like proper protective and knocked this guy out. So it were pretty entertaining. They were never a long night.
Yeah, definitely. When alcohol is involved in nightclubs, brother, you'd definitely be entertaining for sure. But so you end up at Leeds, brother, and then you end up at Leeds, and you take the opportunity on not much, as long as you got enough to pay for your fuel, which is not enough, and you work this other job. How long are you there for?
So I was at Leeds. I signed two academy contracts.
Mm-hmm.
And then in my final year, I signed a first team deal, which again was no money really, but it was enough that I didn't have to do the glass collecting anymore.
Okay.
And at that time, money wasn't anything to me really. Like as long as I could pay for my car, like my mum didn't charge me rent for staying at home, or I had no plans to sort of buy a house or anything like that. So everything was just rugby.
So how far is the journey from mum's to training?
On a good day, it was about an hour.
Oh, okay.
And then getting home sometimes in an evening, you're looking at nearly 2 hours.
True. Just traffic.
Just traffic, yeah. So, but I loved it. I loved that. I love the fact that I was getting paid to go do what I wanted and do what I loved.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did that. I'd signed another deal after that for still no money really. And then it got to a point where the coach at the time just said, "Look, we don't see you in our plans. You're not going to play for us." And this was just after COVID. So we'd just come back from COVID. Like, I'd come back in good shape. Like, I'd lost 10 kilo. I was quite fit as well. And
what do you run around at, brother?
I run around about 113. Stick around.
So you was 123, 125 nearly.
No, so at the time I came back at 105 kilo. So I'd come back.
Oh, okay, lost. Okay, I see. Yeah.
I was a bit too light then, but yeah, it was a bit of a kick in the teeth because I'd used the time where it was like people were sort of getting pissed or doing whatever they were doing in lockdown. I was training hard, I was working hard, and then I came back and it just sort of felt like it was for nothing. I know it wasn't for nothing, but it felt like it was for nothing because they had no plans for me in the future. They had no plans for me in the present. So, they just said we could put you on because we was on furlough. So furlough is where you can get like a certain amount of your wage and not at work. So they just put me back on furlough because luckily my furlough covered my full wage because I didn't earn enough to be able to set a threshold.
Oh, okay.
I was getting my full wage anyway, so they just said, "Look, you can go home. You don't have to come back. We'll still pay you furlough." So obviously, I spat my dummy out a little bit, and I just thought, "Fuck it, I'm getting paid. I'll just go home now and do what I want." But that's where I sort of got a new motivation. I'd fell out of love with rugby.
Had you made your debut yet at the stage or nah? Okay,
yeah. So that's what my dream from growing up was being a Leeds Rhinos player and making my debut for Leeds because that's the team I supported.
True.
And obviously to never achieve that was a bit of a kick in the teeth. But I took the furlough, I went home, and then the next day I was on a building site. I worked on a building site for a couple of months.
What were you doing? What was the job?
Oh, it was shy, mate. It was because I have no qualifications and stuff like that. I was just a labourer, and some days I'd be like picking up heavy, like I'd be carrying heavy loads and stuff like that, which I didn't mind. But then some days they were like not a lot of work to do, so I'd just be sort of like bored cleaning up and stuff like that, and it wasn't very mentally stimulating for myself. So and I thought because I'm all about progression, me, and there was no progression in that sort of work for myself because I didn't have any of the qualifications. So I stuck it out for a bit longer, and then I went and worked in the children's home. As soon as I got to 21, I went and worked in the children's home with the naughty kids, and that was one of the best jobs I've ever had.
Yeah. What did you enjoy about it?
I just because a lot of them were just like myself, come from the same sort of backgrounds. So domestic violent backgrounds. Come from not a lot, and I just love that they could relate to me and I could relate to them, and I always said, and I still say it now, like I wanted to be the person where they thought this isn't the end now, just because we're in this situation, we can still come out of it, in the sort of glory days. And I used that, and then when I went back to playing rugby, I took the kids with me. I took them to the games. I made sure they had tickets. If I was working, I'd make sure that I could take them to the games with me. If I wasn't working, I'd make sure I'd leave tickets behind, so they could still come to the games. And that sort of followed me all the way through, really. And I don't do it now, but, if they were still interested, I'd definitely, see what I could do with that.
Yeah, wow, what a beautiful human, brother. That's lovely, brother. That's an awesome thing, brother. Don't lose that, cuz like that's beautiful, brother. Especially to these children that have, like you say, come from bad backgrounds. Sometimes you just need someone to believe in you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And I think I was lucky in terms of having my mum who still believed in me, and everything that she went through, she still sort of seen the good and sort of showed us the way. She was a great role model, and she worked hard. She'd work all the hours under the sun, and so no, like I say, like a big shout out to my mum on that, because she's sort of made me realize how to be with people and sort of have that human empathy, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously things don't work out at Leeds. But before you get on to what happens next, who's the biggest person you learnt from in that time at Leeds?
Um, it's a bit of a tough one because as I was going into the first team, obviously the sort of the legends were retiring. There were no Rob Burrow, no Danny Maguire, no sort of none of your forwards that had sort of like no Jamie Peacock, none of that. So it was pretty hard. I was focused on myself, but as we were sort of coming into it, Rob Burrow then decided to become the academy coach. So he was quite a big part. He was a reason why I think I signed the first team deal. I think he seen that I was working the hours in the nightclub and stuff like that, and he could see that I was coming to training with no sleep, and I think he sort of pushed for me to be a first teamer. And he was kind of the only person, as well as somebody called Johnny Warehouse, who was Rob's assistant. I think they were the only two that sort of believed that I could make it and believed that there was a player there. I just needed the chance.
R.I.P. to the legend Rob Burrow, brother.
Definitely.
What a weapon he was too. Though I remember watching him even playing for England as well.
Yeah, he was a great guy off the field as well, and obviously I've only known him as a legend of Leeds, and to be able to work close with him and to be able to speak to him on sort of like a personal level was pretty pretty amazing to see him as a normal person, not just Rob the rugby player. He was Rob the person. Do you know what I mean? He was a great guy.
What's something that he taught you that sticks in your mind to this day?
I just think it was the resilience. Obviously, he didn't have it well, and especially towards the back end. Like I remember when he first got his diagnosis, still came into training to sort of speak to people, and he just got on with it. And I just think like that's just life now. Like when I left Leeds, I had to just get on with it. I couldn't just sit and sit on my ass and wait for the next opportunity or anything like that. Like if I wanted something, I had to go and get it.
Yeah. So how did that next opportunity come about?
Yeah. So I thought I'm on my last effort. Really, I put my. I asked somebody at Leeds if they'd just make me like a quick highlight reel, and I just put it on Twitter. I asked a couple of my friends to share it and stuff like that, and then I just thought, fuck it, rugby's done for me now. So I was going to join the army. I'd got through all the stages and stuff. So the next thing for me to do was to just go into the basic training camp, which was just like a bit of a camp where you'd just go and do all the tests and stuff like that. But as I was supposed to go there, I got a tweet from Oldham assistant coach Brendan Sheridan, and he just said, "Look, we've seen your highlights. Like, would you be keen to be with myself, Matt Diskin, who was another Leeds legend?" So I went and had a coffee with them. I told them that my plans was to go in the army, and they sort of said to me, "Just give rugby a chance with us." There wasn't the best team. And we ended up we won one game out of the entire season. But when I tell you that was the best like season of my life, other than winning the Premiership with Wigan, like when I tell you that was the best season I've ever had, like I've never enjoyed losing so much.
What do you mean?
Because it was just I was around a good group of blokes, and everyone was there for the same reason. Everyone was enjoying themselves. Like the morale was good. Everyone was happy, and I felt like I was back at Siddle with my friends.
Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah.
There were no pressure, and I think when the pressure had gone, it was just I fell in love with the game again, and I thought to myself like, this is it. This is what I can do now, and I'm gonna push to get better.
Yeah, but something you needed, eh? Something like you probably needed that time to fall in love with the game again.
I needed to get that love back, and Oldham definitely helped me get that love back.
Yeah, Oldham, because a lot of people like don't understand. I guess if you're down here, is like Oldham. What are they in the third division?
No, so at the time they was in the second division.
Yeah, but now they're in the third division.
Now they're in the third division, yeah.
But like eventually they could maybe make it up to Super League, right? If the right things fall their way and all that kind of stuff.
Going the way they are, because I mean they're killing it in the league that they're in now. So they've had a bit of money put into them as well. Like when I went there was fuck all money. There was nothing there.
Yeah, because they don't have like promotion relegation here. at all.
Oh no, so
Just locked in, brother.
when I was
It's
there, we got relegated. So
true.
yeah,
Damn. And who jumped over you guys?
I think it was us and Swinton that was relegated, and I'm not sure if it was Keighley.
Oh, Keithley Cougars.
Yeah, Keighley Cougars and someone else went up, I think.
Yeah. And now they're both in the Keithley Cougars and Oldham are both down there, aren't they? Yeah.
Oldham keep beating them now, so it's good to see.
Yeah, I got a bit of a like Jake Webster's come on a few times. He's the director of rugby out there at Keighley.
Yeah. When I was first looking for a club, he got in touch with me. But as he got in touch, I just agreed terms with somebody else, so it was a bit of a all of a sudden. But who knows what could have been then? Because they're doing well as well. So
yeah, definitely, brother. So then, what Wigan pluck you from there?
No. So I went to. I've been at a few clubs myself. So
yeah,
I went
brother.
to Oldham. I went to Widnes Vikings, who used to be one of the better teams. They used to be like in Super League, but they was in the second division. So I went there. I literally played a couple games. Done pre-season, played a couple games, and then my agent rang me saying, "Would you be keen to go back to Super League?" And I said, "Yeah, of course. This is what I'm working towards."
Yeah.
Well, Salford Red Devils have come in, which was like
the old home team, the old team. You were in the juniors.
Like full circle. Like that was one of the places where I wanted to sort of be. So they sort of came in and they said they'll take you at the end of the year. So I was just prepared to play for Widnes for the rest of the year and then go. But then they must have agreed the deal, and I got another phone call. I said, "Oh, how do you feel about going on Monday?" And bearing in mind this was a Friday, I think it was. Yeah, so go on Monday. I'm like, well, yeah, obviously I'd love to go, but I don't want to go and just not play. I don't want to go and be like I don't want to be bin juice for the next couple of months. I wanted to play, and my agent sort of said, "Look, I think you will play. Just see how it goes." So I agreed to it. Went to Salford, and do you remember Sitter? I'm not even going to announce it.
Manasa? Sitter Manasa?
No.
Sitter Leki Akuolo?
Yeah. Yeah, so he was there as well, and I think he was poorly, sick. So the coach said, "Look, you could look like you're playing here. I mean, I don't want to put you in; it's quite soon, but you could look like you're playing." And I was thinking, well, somebody else will come in, and it'll be fine. Like there'll be another player to replace me. And then I got a phone call like the night before saying, "Look, I feel like the stars are aligning, and I feel like God's telling me that you need to play, so I'm going to play you." And then from that moment, I sort of kept my spot in the team, and I was at Salford for just over a year, I think.
Yeah.
And then I managed to get a call up for the England Knights, which is like the England second team.
What a journey, though, brother! Even just to get to that team, brother. Like, honestly, most people probably would have given up, bro.
Yeah, when I got the phone call, I was absolutely over the moon, and it don't count as a cap, but for me, I was playing for England. Like I was playing for England in one way or another. So I did that. Went back to pre-season with Salford. Got a call up then for the England first team. So I made my England debut within 12 months of actually going back full-time rugby.
So from playing down in lower grades, then within a year, you end up playing for England.
Yeah, so I made my debut in France. So it was quite a hectic journey.
What a story, brother!
Yeah. So we did that, and then I think.
Who did you play when you played for England?
We played France.
Yeah, what's that? What's the feeling? Like, describe the feeling of
it
representing the country.
Obviously, for me not expecting to ever get to that point. Like for me, my goal was never to play for England, and I don't mean that's because I never wanted to. I mean it's because I never imagined it.
You never thought that was possible.
Yeah, I never thought there was going to ever be an opportunity, and then when I got the phone call, it was. It just like all my Christmases had come at once, and it was unbelievable. And being in and amongst the players, and you're in a camp full of the country's best players, So it was unreal, and it sort of fueled the fire even more, and like that's something I'm always pushing for now.
Yeah, definitely, and why not, brother? So you should. Definitely. I just think this is just an amazing, like, in a way, rags to riches, but like this fact that you were, in a first team, in one of the top teams, and you end up, going all the way down to, getting to a team that gets relegated to the third division, and then what within a year is it? You end up playing for England. That's amazing, brother.
Yeah, and I've always said like I wouldn't change the journey I've been on. Like I think sort of some people take for granted being full time.
Yep.
And I know I did. Like when I was at Leeds, I loved it, but I didn't think it was going to end. And then when it did end, it's sort of, your world. In layman's terms, like your world comes crashing down. Like anything you thought was going to be is no longer a possibility. So, but to go from full time to then working on a building site and then in a children's home, like my journey, I'm so grateful for it because it makes me appreciate every opportunity that I take, and I know what it's like to be at the bottom, and that's not what I want to do anymore. I don't want to work on a building site. I don't want to do that. I want to be a rugby player for the next hopefully 10, 15 years. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, go, brother. I love that. I
So
love that, cuz. What's Sean Wayne like?
he's a legend. He's quite a scary bloke, but he's definitely a legend, and he's. I didn't know what to expect when I first met him, but I just got on with him straight away.
Yeah, awesome, bro. And then, like, how long are we into this journey, and we get the Wigan deal comes
Yeah,
across?
so I was still at Salford after I'd played the mid-season international against France.
Yep.
And then my agent rang me saying that there's a club that's come in. Would you be willing to go if the money's right? And I said, well, I'm happy where I am. But if the money's right and obviously it works out for both parties, then yeah, I'd be happy to go. And that, so I was in talks with this club, and everything was going quite sweet. And then Salford, I think they were having money troubles, and they said, "Look, we're going to let you go, but we want to put this crowdfunding thing out first, so they could raise like £300,000. They wanted to raise so much money to be in a good financial position." So I was like, yeah, that's fine. Like I was enjoying myself at Salford anyway. Like I loved playing around the lads and in the setup. And then they just sort of said, yeah, we've raised this money now. We're not going to let you go. So I was like, well, you can't really do that. Like you've let me explore opportunities elsewhere, see that I can get better, and then just sort of keep me on what I'm on now and not sell me. So that's when I sort of put the transfer request in and sort of let other teams know that I was ready to leave.
So is that how it works over there? You can put in a transfer request?
Yeah, so you could put in a transfer request, but Salford denied it.
Oh, okay.
Salford denied it. So as far as I was concerned, like I was staying at Salford, and you come to terms with it. I was happy there. Like I'd agreed a new deal as to to sort of give me a better wage and a little bit longer there. So I was happy. And then one day I get into training, and the CEO, I think CEO, I got pulled into the office, and they just said, "Oh yeah, we've decided to sell you." And at this point, I was getting like loads of abuse online from like Salford fans and stuff like that, calling me a bit of a snake, really, and a bit shit and all that sort of stuff. So I was getting called every name under the sun. But then they decided to sell me anyway, and obviously I wasn't happy because they'd seen all the stuff and abuse I'd been getting.
Yeah.
They were holding their own, and then they decided to just sell me anyway. But luckily for me, it was Wigan that had come in.
Yeah, the Wigan.
So I was quite nervous about going to Wigan. So I didn't really want to go because I didn't think I was good enough to be at a team like Wigan. So I sort of like put it on the back burner a bit. But then I just thought, look, if there's a team where I'm going to progress as a player, and there's a team where that's going to win things, then Wigan were the team to go to. So luckily I went to Wigan, and the rest is sort of history. I won league leaders, grand final, and then obviously at the beginning of this year we won the World Club Challenge. So no, I feel like it was the right choice for me, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. What's that like, brother? Getting to run out and get that dub, brother, in the final.
Yeah, it was quite surreal, really. Like again, this was something that I'd hoped to do, but I'd never really planned on doing it. I didn't think I was ever going to get to a final, let alone play in one, and everything sort of fell into place where I ended up starting in the final. So yeah, it was a crazy feeling, and to sort of win that and then be sort of put to play the best team in Australia. It was a bit surreal because obviously I'm a big NRL fan as well, and
yeah,
yeah,
okay.
I do like.
Who's your team?
I'm more of a Warriors fan, but
Up the Waz, baby. Up the Waz. I'm the Waz for
the Warriors. So
bro. I'm the Warriors to the death, my brother, and up the Wigan Waz too. Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, that's it, brother. But
Well,
what was it like going against Nathan Cleary and all that, brother? Like
it was like I felt struck again because Fisher Harris had just been given Golden Boot as well, so he's best player in the world. And to sort of test myself against players like that, it was unbelievable, and sort of I don't know how to describe it because I don't want to like suck ass and be like, oh yeah, I was all this, but it was quite like a starstruck feeling.
Yeah, and also like 2 years before you were playing in you just got relegated to the 3rd division or something like that.
Yeah, so it was a mad journey, and everything that sort of happened, like you just wouldn't expect it to ever have happened to me.
Yeah, definitely, bro. I wouldn't be surprised too if that Panthers team. I know he's beat them, and might be a bit of controversy, but you got the win anyway, brother. You got the win. You got to lift the trophy, World Club Challenge. But I wouldn't be surprised if they go for 4 in a row, brother. I would not be surprised.
Yeah, well, they are doing well, but I don't know. I think there's some surprise teams coming up as well.
Who do you reckon? Who do you reckon, brother? Who do you reckon's gonna
Bulldogs
sneak
are
it in?
coming out there.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that 10-year thing that every 14, every year there's a 4 they lose and then they win the next 10 years. So 2000, I think, is it 94 they lost, then I don't know, 84 they won, then 94 they lost, then 2004 they won, then 2014 against the Rabbitohs they lost against the Burgess brothers, and then 2004. I don't know. There's a lot of Doggies fans that are talking about that 2024 that it might be their year again. So yeah, maybe you're right, brother.
It'd be interesting because they've had quite a good rebuild, haven't they, recently?
Yeah, it's taken a lot. It's taken a while, guys. But yeah, they have now.
They've got a great caliber of players, and they're sort of turning over teams that you wouldn't really expect them to turn over. But I'm not too sure. I think obviously your Melbourne and Penrith are always going to be up there. So
yeah, honestly,
I'm glad I'm not.
Yeah, and but the fact that Penrith will be finishing second again, because they can't finish first unless Melbourne lose all the games, I think. But the fact that the Panthers will be in the top 2 again, you got to go and face them in Penrith again, which is hard to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I think it'll be very hard. I wouldn't be surprised if they win, but yeah, maybe you're right.
The good thing about the NRL, I suppose, as well, like from top to bottom, it's always quite a close game, and they're always as well.
Any team, brother, any team can beat any team on their day.
Yeah, that's why I think it's such an appealing sport, and I think that's why it's so popular over here in England that people love watching it. And I think the way it's run and advertising and stuff like that, I think that's why it's on top at the minute.
Yeah, are you still running around for Wigan next year?
Yeah, still there next year.
I'll see you in Vegas, hopefully, brother. Hey,
you coming over?
Yeah, up the Waz and up the Wigan Waz, baby. Hey?
Yeah, take 2 shirts.
Yeah, that's us, brother. We'll come stick it to old brother Zane Musgrove, eh? Yeah, brother, that's the plan, brother, for sure. What kind of music did you grow up listening to? The Tyler Dupree. What kind of beats were you banging, brother?
Oh man, so because my mum used to drive us around, it was always like 80s music.
Okay, yeah.
But now I've sort of developed I can listen to anything now. Like I'm a fan of anything, 80s, 90s, 2000s, country, rap. Don't mind a bit of rock. The only thing I find is like that goth music or classical. But I'd listen to anything really. And where I'm from, we've got like, have you heard of the Bad Boy Chiller Crew?
Nah, no, I have.
People like Bad Boy Chiller Crew and.
I think so. Is it like Bad Boy Chiller Crew? Is it like their Beamer song or something? No, Beamer. What's their fucking song?
BMW.
Oh, I think I have. I think I have, father. Oh, I was trying to think. Let me
Yeah,
look
so
at this.
John Bateman, do you know who played for the Tigers?
Yeah.
He used to live in that area, so he knows them really well. But I listen to them, and like, there's quite a few people in that area that I like to listen to as well.
Is he back over there playing for you guys? Or
No, he's playing for Warrington now.
oh, Warrington. Oh,
He's with your
thought
boys.
he was a Wigan man. Yeah. Bad Boy Chiller Crew. I'm trying to think of that song. I'm sure there's a song there. Yeah, that BMW song. Yeah, that's a track. Yeah, I know that one. Yeah, I do know.
They've done
Oh,
a
so
few
you're into them?
other people like that, so I do like listening to the stuff like that. But then if I'm just trying to chill out, I do like a bit of country as well.
Oh, okay. Like who are you going to for country?
Morgan Wallen, Luke Combs.
Oh yeah, what's the track? Give me your all-time Luke Combs track.
Probably a bit controversial, but I like "Beer Never Broke My Heart."
Oh, okay. Hey,
like
that's your choice, brother. That's your choice. Okay. Have you seen any of these people in like you see Luke Combs? Has he done any tours in the UK recently?
I'm not. I think he's done a tour, but I've never gone to him. I've only ever seen recently. I watched Post Malone and Chris Brown, and they're the two best ones I've seen so far.
Wait, Post Malone goes already. I seen him before Chili Peppers concert. He opened up for the Chili Peppers last year, and I was like, bro, Post Malone goes all good, eh?
Yeah, it was best concert I've ever been to. That.
Yeah, I heard he's a lad too. Like just he's just one of the boys. Like he'll just rock into like just random dive bars and just have a drink and just chill with the people.
After the concert, he just walked to the front and was like taking autographs and taking pictures with everyone. So yeah, it seems like a good guy.
Yeah, that's good, brother. That's good. And make sure when you become that famous too, you keep being that way too, Tyler. What kind of cartoons, brother? Cartoons, movies were you into?
What, as a kid or?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Growing up, or even now, if you're still into them.
Oh man, I'm a massive Marvel fan now.
Oh, okay.
Well, I've always been into all that stuff, but as a kid, I was into stuff like Power Rangers, stuff like that. But in the recent years now, I've watched all the Marvels and I'm watching them again now in like order.
Okay. So, true, in order of like chronological order of when they happened in the universe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So where does it all begin? What's the first?
So the first one's Captain America.
Okay.
And we'll go to Captain Marvel, and it just goes on like that. So I've just watched the newest Guardians of the Galaxy. So I'm on to the next one now. But have you watched the Deadpool yet?
Not the new one. Nah, I haven't. But is it good?
So good? Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, I heard it's good. I
love all that sort of stuff. I love stuff that's not real.
So, who would be your GOAT superhero from the Marvel universe then?
I was speaking about this the other day. Obviously, Captain America is your boy in it. Like he's pretty much unstoppable. But
well, he could be your boy. He could be your uncle because you are from America. In the bloodline.
And that's what might be my thing. If I don't play for England, then I'll have to be Captain America.
Oh, oi! What if you could actually play for the United States one day and be Captain America?
Yeah, I mean, if I were playing for him, I'd say I'd have to be captain just so I could do that. And then my Instagram bio would be Captain
America.
But
no, just be Captain America, not even of, just Captain America.
I'd do like capital Captain and then lowercase of and then America.
Yeah,
just so it looks like that.
I want to see that, brother. I want to see. Wait, that could actually happen. Maybe even later in the career, when the twilight of the career, you could go and represent the Star Spangled Banner.
You never know, but they're struggling at the minute. But I think rugby league's just taken off over there, so hopefully they start to produce some homegrown talent and get a good international team.
And with this Vegas thing too, brother, like all of that kind of stuff, like you know what I mean, like more exposure for the game over there.
Yeah, definitely. And I think one thing about like the American sort of citizens, they love any sport and they'll get behind any sport.
Yeah, 100%. Especially if it's an American, like if you say it's an American thing and they're going all right, 100%. I think they would, brother. Like obviously it's going to be hard to break the tragic NFL fans. You're not going to like cut into their market, but you could sort of bring them along. I reckon, like in the off season and stuff, like because the seasons don't clash. Really, you could bring them along.
What was done well was when the NRL were advertising, sort of rugby league versus American football, and they were just showing the difference. And you just sort of seeing everyone like I seen loads of like reaction videos on Twitter and TikTok and stuff like that. You know, like
Yeah, that's smart, man.
Your pads and it you know, it's, they're marketing it really well, and hopefully it continues.
Even getting Russell Crowe to do the audio was pretty sharp. Whoever did that, apparently he did it for free too. That's really cool.
Well, they don't you know, they don't leave anything behind. Really, don't leave no stone unturned.
Nah, brother. Even the head, like that Peter Volandis dude. I don't know if you know him, but the head of the ARL, that guy is a wizard, brother. The things that he's like brought together. Like I think the Vegas thing is through his connection because he's the head of like New South Wales Racing, and like New South Wales Racing when he took over wasn't in a very good spot. Now they've got like the second biggest race in the country after the Melbourne Cup, which is like a, you know, that's a nostalgic thing. It's part of the Aussie culture. So yeah, the Everest they got as well, and yeah, you know, he's doing awesome with the NRL as well. So I heard they were going to buy the Super League. What do you think about
that? It'd be good if they did. In my personal opinion, I think it'd be good if they did, but you never really know. And if they did, how would it work? Would they try sort of incorporate the leagues, but then you've got a 24-hour journey between games? I don't know.
Yeah, and they did do it. They did do it in the 90s, brother, and she only lasted a year or two.
I remember when they used to do like our first, second, and third would play against like NRLs, maybe like first and second and third, or you know.
Yeah, what happened there?
I don't know, they just knocked on the head, didn't they?
Yeah, it's so hard doing because your season's so long too, eh?
Yeah. We've still got another 8 games, including playoffs now. So
yeah, and but when do you start? Like, when's the first game of the year?
In February.
Yeah, exactly, brother.
So throw the Challenge Cup into it as well.
Oh, you didn't play in that one, did you?
I didn't play in the final. No, I was banned, unfortunately. But
oh, true. Hey, naughty boy. Hey, thought you were Captain America already. No. Oh, brother. Before we get out of here, I've got a couple of quick ones, if that's all right.
Yeah, all good, man.
All right, brother. If you could only eat one meal, like a real meal, not just one food, but a real meal every day for the rest of your life, you got to eat this meal. What do you choose?
Tuna, tin tuna.
Okay.
Microwave rice.
Yeah.
Cheese.
Okay.
Mayonnaise.
What kind of cheese?
Just grated cheese, grated mozzarella cheese.
Okay, and that's it every day, rest of your life.
Put it in like a bowl and you mix it all together. So it's just like some tuna and rice. Oh, it's the best.
All right, bro.
Eat that every day and not get bored of that.
It sounds like you have been eating that every day.
That's when we was growing up, because the tins of tuna were like the most expensive thing, but then you get a bag of rice for like 50p.
Yeah.
Proper cheap plastic cheese and then just some cheap mayonnaise. It'd be sweet.
It'd be sweet. All right, brother. If you just want to play for England one day, guys, that's what you got to do. Chuck it in the belly.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we've already touched on superheroes, but superpowers. If you could create your own superpower or choose one out of the realm of superpowers, what superpower do you choose and why?
Have you ever watched The Boys?
No, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, carry on.
So there's a superhero on The Boys. The Boys is like some fucked up superheroes anyway. Like they've got some weird powers, but there's a guy on The Boys called Homelander, and he can do everything. Like he's got X-ray vision. He can laser eyes, fly, super strength, super speed. I can do all that, so I'd probably do that because it's just everything in one.
Okay, shout out to the brother. Yeah, what's his name?
Homelander.
Homelander. So Homelander's powers would be yours.
Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't heard of it.
Nah, brother. Maybe I have. I'm not sure. Is it a new show or?
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime, but it's like been ranked really highly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, nah. You know what the problem is? I don't watch TV because I just listen to podcasts and watch rugby league and watch UFC and NBA. That's about it. So that's probably what the problem is, because I don't watch any shows anymore.
Yeah.
Nah, all good, brother. Each to their own. All right, brother. Give us a piece of advice for any up and coming rugby league players, aspiring rugby league players, or even let's just say even someone that's that's in the system, but they haven't, quite made it to the heights that you have. But they have the potential.
Well, to be fair, there's one thing that because I used to coach an amateur team, like the younger kids, and this one thing I'd say was when they were going to the scholarship, I'd say, just because you're there now doesn't mean you've made it, and just because you're not there now doesn't mean you haven't made it. You just got to be patient with it, and things happen for a reason, and stuff comes. Some stuff comes at different times, and I didn't make my Super League debut till I was 22, and there's people out there that have made it at 16, 17. So, just be persistent, and if it's what you want, just go and get it.
Yeah, that's it, brother. Give us who's your podium since there's Olympics right now? Who's your podium? And I want to say you can't do it in any order. It has to be a bronze, there has to be a silver, and there has to be a gold medal of players you've played against, like toughest.
Yeah. I'd put Edwin Ipape, he'd be bronze because he can hit him. He can hit.
Yeah. Who's that? Mbappe from France? No, jokes.
You put me on the spot with this now.
So he'd be bronze. He gets silver and gold.
Silver. I don't know. You put me on the spot, yeah. Sitter's quite a big hitter. I'd put him at second.
Okay, second. Yeah, and who gets gold medal? Who's the toughest opponent you've come up against so far?
Toughest. I don't know. I don't think I can give you a gold.
Come on, brother. Give us a gold. It's all good.
Fisher Harris, they were pretty.
Yeah, that'll do. That's an easy one just to check out there, eh? Even though you got the win. Yeah,
even got the win, it was still pretty tough.
Yeah, and well, you might not play him for another couple of years because the Warriors need to win a premiership before. Because next year he'll be off to the Warriors, so he won't be playing for Penrith if he's winning. They win
today, next time.
Yeah, definitely, brother. Wigan Warriors. Imagine that. Wigan Warriors versus the Warriors, brother. That could be one of the both the shit.
You'd have to get like do you know them split tops? Like Wigan on one side and New Zealand on the other.
Yeah. I mean, like I'm Warriors to the death, but I mean, at least it's Warriors winning either way, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So you could put it anywhere.
Definitely, brother. Definitely. And but watch out though, because Fisher Harris might be coming to get their dub back, brother.
Yeah, I'll stay away from him.
Definitely, because give us visualization 10 years from now. What do you hope life looks like for Tyler Dupree in 10 years?
I hope that I've been even more successful in rugby. Obviously, I hope for sort of a beautiful, safe, healthy family. And hopefully I've got enough money to not work. That'll be my goals. So
yeah, I love it, brother. Let's make that happen. Let's see that happen. I just want to say, brother, time is the most valuable commodity we have as human beings. The one thing we can never get back. We can always get back money, things, but time spent is time lost. So I just want to say thank you for sharing an hour of your time with me and anybody that listens to this for years to come. I hope it's not the last time we sit down and have a yarn, and maybe one day, I don't know about the tuna, but we'll have something to eat and maybe a beer, whether it's in Vegas or somewhere in the world, brother.
I'll let you pick out what we eat. That'll be fine.
All right, I got you, my brother. Yeah, let's go. We go. Or you can eat somewhere. All right then, brother. Big blessings, big love, and all the best for the rest of the season, eh?
No, thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you so much for watching this full episode of Mind the Mic. It takes a lot of time, energy, and effort to create these episodes. So to know that you've watched and listened to the entire thing means the world to myself and all our hosts. If you could, before you leave, please hit the subscribe button and share this episode out to as many people as possible. It would help us so much. Thank you again to everybody that's still here, still watching. Thank you for all your comments, all your shares, all the DMs. Appreciate you all. Make sure you follow us on every platform. Have an awesome morning. Have an awesome night, depending on where you are in the world. Mind the mic out.
Oi, have you hit the link in bio yet?
Watch full episodes on YouTube or listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all streaming platforms.